back. Thank you for returning so promptly. And firstly, we want to thank 14IP for lunch. In fact, they've sponsored all our refreshment breaks so far today, so thanks to them. I've been asked a few times in the course of this break by strangers saying, do you have a background in hospitality? Well, how dare you even ask? I said, I've spent my entire adult life in hospitality. My first job was in 1977 behind the bar at Pontin's Holiday Camp in Bracklesham Bay, a job that I thoroughly enjoyed. Our customers were all in good moods because they were on holiday. The work was easy. And as a young team, we got on very well. Imagine Love Island, but with slightly uglier contestants. That's what it was like. Never look back from that. We're going to talk about HOSPA Professional Development, and we have the best possible people coming onto the stage to talk about this. Janel Clark, who is Head of Professional Development for HOSPA, and of course, the lady who needs no introduction from me, Jane Pendlebury. Please welcome them both to the stage.
Right, they're still here, Janel. They're still here. So first of all, Janel is our new Head of Professional Development, which is absolutely fantastic. Janel, we go back such a long way, but to have you working with us as Head of Professional Development deserves a round of applause. Oh. Thank you. It's an absolute delight. We have known each other for a very, very long time. Have you got, well, actually, first of all, let's hear a bit about your background, if that's all right, so that people understand why you are Head of Professional Development and your revenue management tutoring as well.
Okay, so I started with HOSPA as one of the tutors. That was back about 8 years ago on the revenue management course. So my life, I think, I found a photograph actually this week. Thank God I didn't have time to add it onto the slides. But it's me in the res office of the Crown Plaza at King's Cross in about 1990. My first hotel job. So I started in res, and at that stage, I'd already done a couple of years with what was Holiday Inn then, Central Res Office. So I went on to property. I did 15 years on property through reservations. I did that sort of traditional reservations, then yield management, as it was called then, and then revenue management. I did 15 years on property. I then went supplier side and was working with hotels as clients, but teaching them about revenue management, pricing, that type of thing. I then got involved much more with the education side, and for the last 10 years I've been much closer involved with the hospitality schools. So as I say, I was a tutor with HOSPA under Deborah Adams. I'm not sure if she's here, but she's coming later. I'm sure many of you know her. And then more recently with Michael Haywood. But I've been involved in that side of things. I've worked with the hospitality schools, EHL in Lausanne for 5 years, and Glion in London. So I'm an educator. I don't like to say teacher because I think sometimes we have quite negative connotations there as we think about our teachers. I'm not a teacher, an educator, but in my heart I'm still a hotel revenue manager.
Yes. Yeah. And if you walk into any hotel with Janel, she knows most of the people there. You also did your qualification in educating.
I did, yeah. I did my teacher's qualification during COVID, so my PGCE, yeah. So I am a qualified teacher, but I'm a hotelier.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And we talk a lot about professional development, and that's why we really wanted to bring it all under the HOSPA umbrella in its entirety. We've got our fabulous tutors are here today as well, but it's becoming more and more important, isn't it, for we talk about millennials, and yeah. I have to say Gen Z because Gen Z doesn't seem right, although my heart tells me I should be saying Gen Z. Yeah. But it's important for them, isn't it? Even more so than it was for maybe our generation.
No, absolutely. I think, and we know within our sector that we always have challenges with staffing, whether it's recruitment or staff retention. And definitely for the younger generation, the idea of career progression, development, training, and acknowledgement and reward is something that is so important to them. So they're really looking for which company can I go to where they're going to invest in me as a person, whether it's external training courses, internal, but that training and development and reward is just so important. So for us, like, my passion is definitely the education and the people development side of things. And I see that whenever you go into hotels, and I was having a chat actually earlier with Verian, wherever she is, from the Headland, and she was telling me about the incentive schemes that they've got in place with their younger members of staff, and how important it is for those people to be recognised. And, you did a great check-in today, so here's something for you. And that whole idea as well of just keep learning and keep being invested in. I think Harry said this morning, like, your training, it's not a cost, it's an investment, and that's so true. And I think we see that a lot with the learners that we have come on our courses.
Absolutely. And from those learners, would you just explain a little bit about the courses that we do and what the learners can expect?
Yeah. So we run programs in finance, revenue management for hotels and for holiday rentals, commercial restaurant management and asset management, hotel investment management. All the programs are a 5-month online program. There's different levels for each of those subjects. I think there's always a challenge when the learners come on the course, because we always refer to our learners as learners, not students, because we've got learners in the room here, or alumni now in the room. And actually I think we've got a couple of people who are on a course at the moment. Because all of our learners are working full time, they're professional people, and so they have to fit this learning in around their jobs, which is a bit of a shock to the system. We're working in hospitality, we're all super busy. So it's this 5-month online learning, but you are supported by a tutor. So you mentioned the tutors. So I know Alex is in the room somewhere. Don't know where he is. Hopefully. He's our tutor for the asset management program. Janel is our tutor for finance. He's coming in tonight. And Michelle Wells is our tutor for the commercial restaurant management. So for the learners, you've got a 5-month program. You're expected to do assignments. You're expected to do an online exam. But you've got that support all the way through from your tutor. So you're not left on your own. And that's something that has changed in the last few years, isn't it? The involvement of the tutor and their sort of hand-holding when they need it, or leaving alone if the student learners want to get along with it. So. Absolutely. I mean, our tutors are amazing. We've all got this mix of industry background and academic background. So all of us actually have lectured at Glion. In London and in Switzerland. Michelle still is a lecturer there. Alex is still a lecturer there. Janel is now Associate Dean at Middlesex Uni. So we've got that academic knowledge, but we're all coming from, having years of industry experience. And the tutors, there's welcome calls when we start. There's constant group calls with all of the learners when we talk about assignments. But we very much believe that each learner is different. If they want extra help, they will come to us and we will offer it. But we also know that a lot of learners are just very happy to get on with things themselves. They submit assignments. As long as they get the grades, then we're happy with that. They're happy with that. So, it's down to the learner to lead that, really. And then, of course, at the end of their course, there's the wonderful graduation event. There is a fabulous graduation. This is what everybody wants to come and do a HOSPA course, because we go to the Savoy and we have afternoon tea. So our next graduation will be in March of next year. So all of our learners get together. We had 150 learners in the past year on our programs. So we have a nice afternoon tea at the Savoy. We have more awards for the highest grades. We get awards for people that have we get special recognition to learners who may not have got the best grade, but we know have put in that extra, real commitment to their learning. And the tutors give out special awards. So it's just an afternoon to celebrate the hard work and commitment that these learners have put in. But also, I think, the benefit to the businesses that they're working in. The way that our courses work is that we teach them the theory, but then for all the assignments and exams, they have to show that they can apply that to a real business. So the businesses are also getting that benefit.
And it's a great event. Now,
It
we
is.
are very short of time. My final question is, we're always developing our courses. There's one specific new one, which we're just about to dive into head first. If you could just give a snippet of that, and then I would invite your next set of panellists onto the stage.
Okay, perfect. So I mentioned that we have a revenue management program for bedrooms, for hotels, and we have a revenue management program for holiday rentals. And the new topic that is coming is revenue management for meeting space. So there's a bit of a story behind that, and I'll sort of go through that a little bit more when we get the panel up here. But again, this was in reaction to the industry asking us, we want training. We think revenue management in meeting space is a bit overlooked. There's some challenges for looking at this area of the business, and so we need some qualified, acknowledged training, certified training courses that can be available out there for everyone. So that's our next step for next year.
Our big investment is going to be in meetings and events, revenue management, and we have got the best people in the industry. So I'm going to just welcome to the stage Danielle, Angela, Amy and Christine. If you could come, I'm going to leave with them.